Hi Leo, and welcome to your June snapshot reading. This is for Leo Sun, Moon, Rising, Midheaven, and or Venus. However, we all have Leo within our natal charts. We're comprised of all 12 zodiac signs. If you know, you know. If you don't and are interested, I have a link that I used when I first started upon my spiritual awakening and starting my spiritual journey. It's a free source that you can use. You just have to input your name, the city and state that you were born in, of course your date of birth, and it is best if you do know the time that you were born at, just so that it is more exact as far as where the sun and moon were, as well as the other constellations within the universe and in yourself. So there's that. If you clicked on this video and you're new to tarot, then you were brought here for a reason. So I really just hope that you hear all that you need, and definitely do subscribe before you leave if you enjoy the experience, okay? But let's get into it. The overlying energy that you have coming into June is the death energy, which I have a sense you guys already knew that this was coming, like impending doom, but not because you have panic attacks, right? Or anything like that, but you have slowly but surely seen something fizzle out. You are now in a drought in your life, in some area or facet of your life, and it has to be transmuted, or it has to be transformed. It has to be relinquished for better, at the very least. Like, there's the promised land behind, and as much as you guys like to try to be in control of your life and in control of all situations, because you don't like feeling vulnerable, this month it's going to ask, because I clarified it with the Fountain Tarot deck, it's going to ask that you have courage, okay? Much like in the Wizard of Oz. And it's not something that you can buy. It's not something that you can fake. It has to come from an authentic space. But you have to have the courage to leave well enough alone for things that just aren't blooming where you are. Okay, this is barren land. What do you expect to grow but some weeds? Like, you can't grow anything over here with that. Okay? It's dried up. Your sense, I don't want to say your sense of self, because that's heavy, but your style has to change. Okay, your style of communicating, your style of manipulating objects. I really hope you're not manipulating people at this point. We've been on this journey now for a year. Those that are new and coming in, you may be fresh, have some fresh wounds and coming from that type of situation. But we're at this point now where we understand that everything is always working out for our greater good, even if it doesn't feel good, even if it doesn't look good. You have to walk by faith and not by sight in the month of June, in your life, period. Okay, you have to relinquish control. I feel like that is what a lot of you guys are going to have to get over here in the month of June. If this is not you developing some courage to leave a situation alone, a person alone, a job alone. You had a great business idea and you thought by now you'd be a gazillionaire, but it's not working out, and you're still using the same strategies, knowing that it's not working out. You're not reaching out. You're not trying different avenues for marketing. You're not forming focus groups where you can get more positive feedback because you feel like you got it all, again, under control. You can do it by yourself. You don't necessarily need help. You're seeing the results of you being so stubborn. Okay, you're going to have to give that up at some point, because your life is not moving. Okay, it's not growing. It hasn't been growing. Your loving relationship hasn't been growing. Some of you guys feel like somebody's falling out of love, but you need to have the courage to really be devoted and committed to it, and really asking those questions to make sure that person is also devoted. Having the courage to ask just to make sure that they're still in the same place, but at the very least being able to still stick your chest up and out, okay, and walk in confidence, even if they decide that they no longer want to be with you, okay? Because death can be very literal in terms of a relationship. It can be in terms of a person, and you're having to be the strong one in the family to kind of hold everybody up and be there for everybody, being that shoulder. But this is, you've gotten as far as you can go without assistance from the universe, and a lot is coming in for you guys. It's going to be more than a push, okay? It's going to be more than a little pinch. It's going to be a shove, all right? They're not going to scoot you along. They're going to push you off of the cliff. Your spirit guides in the month of June. So be expecting that. As well, some of you guys just aren't in a place where you're really feeling ambitious, where you're really feeling like yourself. Maybe that's been a period that you've existed in, and now you're coming to the end of that, and things are starting to actually look up for you. You can be expecting that, okay? Some of you guys really haven't had the most confidence, and that is what is changing this month. Kind of downplaying yourself because you are your kings and queens. And I do apologize for the lighting as it's changed, and I'm sure it's changed the integrity of these cards and how beautiful they actually are. They look very grainy. But it's about time that you really take center stage. You guys love being the center of attention when you're in spaces that you're comfortable with, like with your family and your friends that know you most intimately. You can be a goofball. You're very hilarious. You are the life of the party, but that doesn't translate. Like, you're not showing those good parts of you outside of the spaces that you find comfort in, but you're not going to grow in that, right? Again, it's time for you to kind of move out of that phase, to leave the nest in a sense. So that's what's coming through as far as energy, and on a personal level, what you can be working on. Maybe you haven't had all the security that you've needed on a financial standpoint, sure. Like, things have been scarce. You've just barely been making it by, living paycheck to paycheck. Good things are on the horizon, is what the Strength card is then saying as a clarifier, right? You're at the end of feeling like Job, if you've read the Bible, all right? He went through hell and high water, and he was so faithful. He had periods where, of course, he questioned the Creator, as we all do. We all question our existence, and we all question what our purpose is, and why the good people have to go through the most shit when we're trying to be the most honest, and we're trying to move from the most heartfelt spaces. And I'm sure that's been what you guys have been going through. But it doesn't matter if you're good or bad. Good and bad have nothing to do with the journey that you're set on. You can't live a fulfilling life where you always get everything that you want, and it's always enjoyment for you. You're not always going to be having the time of your life. You have to have challenges, because challenges provoke thought. Okay, it provokes you to creatively come up with alternative solutions to any problems that you're going through. Because when you get comfortable, you get stuck in a rut, and then it becomes boring, or it loses its liveliness, because things have to constantly be changing. There always has to be some sort of stimulus. There always has to be some sort of chaos, right? If you have taken a chemistry course and you learned about states of entropy, energy itself, it doesn't move in an orderly fashion. It bounces off of anything that is in its surrounding environment, okay? There is nothing stable about energy. We ourselves, people ourselves, we often like to create those dramatic situations because, again, there's too much peace in our life. We always have to have contrast. So I feel like you guys are really looking into that in the month of June, and experiencing more and appreciating contrast a lot more in the month of June. It's really making you into the person that you are. You are growing into the lion and lioness. You aren't birthed this way. You don't just come out the womb like that, though you guys think you do, right? With that sense of entitlement and that sense of, you guys are very arrogant, but it's classy, you know? So yeah, you just feel like things should just be handed to you. because you just feel like an heir, like you are royal, okay? You are the king of the jungle. You are at the top of the chain. Not many things can hunt a lion other than like people, right, with guns, but unfair advantage. So that's what you're having to overcome too. That sense of entitlement and pride and ego, and thinking that you are just the bee's knees without really being that person in real life to people, okay? You don't come out the womb the king, you grow into the king. You go through these challenges. This is just growing pains. I'm definitely getting that. If this is the matters of the heart, it has to be transformed. It has to be elevated. You can no longer go on as it has been with the relationship. It just isn't fulfilling anymore, Leo. Hold on. Let me turn the light on. And I contemplated even doing that because it's a different type of light. Oh no, it's bad. All right. And just as I'm doing, I also feel that you guys are working on your appearance in that way. Like you care about your image. So you're working on strengthening that in the way that you want to be perceived. It's just a full rebranding in the month of June. All right. So yeah, that's what's really coming through for you guys. Also, with this energy, there might be a birth in the family. Somebody might be pregnant, getting ready to give birth. But you're going to have to change, again, your mentality and your behavior and how you have been. You're going to really have to grow up. It's going to take a lot of courage here, a lot of strength. You're going to have to become that protector and that provider that Leos are spoken of being once they fully matured. Okay? You can no longer think for self. You have to think of others and put others before yourself, and really pour love into your relationships and pour passion into your relationships if they're romantic, and pour just I don't know how I'm trying to describe that word, but you just have to pour more of your heart, for lack of better words. And it's getting really, really dark, so I'm gonna cut this video, you guys. If this reading did resonate for you, then do give me a thumbs up, share this with your friends and family, and definitely subscribe for more. Also, if you are interested in a reading with me, you can hit me up. I will leave my email in the description box. Readings start as low as $10 and then just go up from there, just depending on what you need. But if I don't hear from you when you book with me and we don't speak in the comment section, then do just take care of yourself and your soul until you hear from me again, okay? Ciao.